Hey there, cookie fans. Today we're going to talk about baking and decorating sugar cookies on a stick. Hi, I'm Leslie with Leslie's Cookies and Treats, and if you love decorating sugar cookies or you want to learn how, you're in the right place. Let's decorate together. So let's get started. All of the supplies you'll need to make these adorable cool popsicle cookies are listed in the description, and this works if you're going to do popsicle sticks or lollipop sticks. So I used my popsicle cookie cutter to cut out the cookie, and now I'm just going to cut off the stick and flip the cookie upside down and lay it on top of the popsicle stick on my baking sheet. The reason I flipped my cookie upside down is because I want to decorate the side where the popsicle stick is, not the other side. And you don't need to put any pressure on it as you're laying it on the baking sheet, just gently set it on top of the popsicle stick or the lollipop stick before baking. And as it bakes, the cookie dough will bake down around the stick. And I've already done a cookie decorating tutorial for the orange popsicle that has the cookie dough stick attached, but I'm going to go ahead and give you the tutorial for this cookie as well because I took a slightly different approach. So I started by outlining and flooding in the popsicle with a red royal icing at about a 15-second consistency. And I'm piping right over the top of that stick and flooding it in nice and full. And then I'll use my scribe to settle the icing down just like I always do and pop any air bubbles. And then I set it aside to dry for about 20 minutes. And now that it's had some time to dry, I'm coming back in with an edible marker and just drawing on the sections of the ball cap as a guide. Now I'll take my white royal icing and I'm going to outline and put a little squiggle in every other section. This squiggle is there to help prevent craters, and my white royal icing is also about a 15-second consistency. And I'm going to do the same thing to the remaining sections with my purple royal icing. Then I'm just going to flood in right on top of those squiggles in all of the sections, first the purple, and I'll use my scribe to settle that down. And then I'm immediately going to go in with my white icing and do the same thing. I'm not going to give the purple icing any time to dry. Instead, I'm going to use a wet on wet technique so that the cap dries as one solid surface and the icings blend together and become one. And I'm using my scribe here to settle down the white icing, and I'm kind of wiggling it all over the place, which is leading to some really wavy lines between the two sections. And that's not at all the look I was going for. I wasn't being very careful. So I'm just going to go over it again and make my lines nice and straight between the different colors. And this time when I settle it down with my scribe, I'm just going to gently tap up and down and not wiggle the colors all over the place. And one last little trick you can do if your lines aren't straight and it's getting onto the other cookie where you don't want it to is you can take a paintbrush and get it wet and wipe all of the water off on a paper towel and just push your icing where it needs to go. And then grabbing my purple icing again, I'm just going to fill in the hat brim and use my scribe to settle it down. And then I'm going to let my cookie dry completely while I work on some royal icing transfer sunglasses. And if you want to see how to make these, you can check out the orange popsicle tutorial that I did, and I'll leave a link for that in the description. So I just put a little bit of red royal icing on the back, and I'm just going to stick these little sunglasses on. I think these sunglasses totally make this cookie. And then I'm just going to give them a little nose, and we'll finish the cap, and this cookie will be done. To do the cap, I'm just going to pipe the band on the back of the cap with my orange icing and then put the little button on the top. Once again, using my scribe to make sure I pop any air bubbles and settle the icing down. And all that's left is to draw on a little smirk with an edible marker. And here's my second approach to decorating a cool popsicle, but this time on a stick. And by decorating on top of the stick, you really reinforce how strong the cookie is. And it's super cute if you put a cello bag over it and tie a little bow at the bottom. Adorable. And that's it. Some cool treats, no freezer required. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please hit that like and subscribe button and drop any questions in the comments. See you next time.